Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live, and it's a Thursday night. We got a little bit of mid-lifeys for you. Hope you're doing well out there, but we're going to give away some golden KJs tonight. We have all the categories. We're going to dive into them. Get in that chat. Give us your 2 cents. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Let us know how you're feeling as we give out the awards, honoring the first 6 months of wrestling. It's going to be a fun one, folks. Strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel-good, and let's award. Ding, ding, ding. Like I said, folks, welcome to the 2025 Mid-Lifeys, where we honor the mid-year awards. Not a full year. We're going to talk about the first 6 calendar months. July did not count, so before you get butthurt about anything, July is not in there. And we will remind you before we give out some medals and some trophies, do not spoil TNA Impact for Anthony or anybody else out there. So make sure you keep that to yourself. But it's going to be a fun one here, folks. We love giving out the awards. We have fun looking back. We got a bunch of categories where we're going to cover the gambit, and you guys can get in the chat. Let us know how you feel about all of it. Remember, we did put this to a vote, so it's going to be a fun night. Lots of fun, laid back. We're going to enjoy ourselves. But if you don't know who we are, well, I'm Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. That is Anthony, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream trios, champions of the world. The man who puts the T in TNA, Ringsider Anthony, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and yes, I don't know too many other channels out there that are doing half-year awards and everything like that. Where it's so nice, we got to give them out twice. We got the Mid-Lifeys crises happening. We're going through the past 6 months of 2025, and it's still crazy to even remember what happened just in those 6 months.
It's the fact that we are 6 months in. Like, where did January and the other months go?
Yeah, it's moved fast. And I mean, we could almost do quarterly awards with so much going on in wrestling every single day. Again, the news doesn't stop. We see the chat filling up. We're going to get to you, and we're going to quickly say hello. Not the usual routine, but we do want your 2 cents on the awards we're giving out tonight. But yeah, like Anthony said, the year has flown by. It started with things like Rumble and Revolution, and Rumble had some surprises whether people loved it or not, but that was kind of the turning moment where we went from we love Jay to not loving Jay anymore, again. And then we go up through Mania. This year was a lot of controversy, and then Dynasty comes back. We go into all the TNA stuff. There are lots of moving parts, lots of names changing places. Been an insane year, guys.
We have the John Cena heel turn. We have the redemption of Hangman Page across the board. We've had the resurgence, the rebirth, if you will, of TNA a bit and everything. We've had the whole gamut of everything in pro wrestling. Like we mentioned about it all week so far. Thy cup runneth over.
Yeah, we had the return of Alexa Bliss at the Royal Rumble. We had a resurgence of Naomi's career. This year we had some big moments. We had that Travis Scott tragedy at WrestleMania, but I mean, we had some moments.
Drew McIntyre pointed out he botched the shit out of that and everything.
All of it, right? No, but I mean, again, we got a Goldberg match, his final match. He's still not happy. We've had a lot of crazy stuff in and out of the ring. Before we give out any of the awards tonight, before we get to the chat, before we do anything else, I think it is necessary that we should acknowledge that one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time has passed away at the age of 71. I see a lot of people bring it up in the chat. My entire feed on every social media I have was all Hulk Hogan all day long. But he has passed on. He had a cardiac arrest this morning, and he is no longer with us, gentlemen.
Yeah, Scott Wordford, I'll give him credit because he's the first person I saw say anything about it and sent me a message and all that saying RIP Hulk Hogan. And I thought it was a prank of it was, someone's pulling my leg. Because we even talked about it there was all the stories of he's in the hospital, he's on life support. Right. No, he's completely fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He can't talk. He's perfectly healthy to today he passes away, and he's the real first big pop culture icon of pro wrestling. He was the one that really crossed over into the mainstream of pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those like, where were you moments? Because like I was in the middle of a conversation at the office and my watch dings, and it's my brother, and he was like, Hulk Hogan passed. I'm like, what? Excuse
Yeah.
me? I didn't believe him. So I went and did some research, and obviously, yeah, he had passed away. But it was crazy because everybody in the office started talking about it. I started getting Teams messages for people that don't work in the office off site about
Right.
it. I got home and my dad was like, there's people at my job asking if you were okay, because they know how hard I took Bray Wyatt's death, right?
Yeah.
So it was just kind of shocking just to see that.
Yeah.
How
I
many
mean,
people got texts from non-wrestling friends and everything
oh yeah.
today?
Hands up. Like, I mean, people I haven't talked to in months were like, hey, did you hear about Hulk? Like, whoa, how you doing? And like family members, brothers, yeah, like everybody and anybody was, my phone was just ding, 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 ding. And a lot of it was, did you hear about Hogan? Did you hear about Hogan? Like, it's insane. And you see it online. And then, we can talk a little more about it before we move on. But again, undeniable the impact he had for so long.
You can't deny that and it's always going to be one of those conflicted situations of separating the person from the artist. And I'm not going to get fully into that whole situation, but his impact on pro wrestling, like I said, if he was the one that fully vaulted pro wrestling into the mainstream, pro wrestling would have never been as big as it is, I feel, without Hulk Hogan.
And I think, and I was trying to explain that to some of my non-wrestling friends who kind of, talked to me about it. And I was like, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, I may not be potentially watching wrestling today, right? Because he made it so mainstream. If we didn't have a Hulk Hogan, we may have never had an Undertaker. We may have never had a Stone Cold. We may have never had a Rock and stuff like that. Hulk Hogan was the catalyst of bringing, and some others like Andre the Giant, but Hulk Hogan was like one of the main ones to bring wrestling into the mainstream, where all of us, even non-wrestling fans, know what WWE is, or what WWF is, or what WCW was, right? So that's the part for Hulk Hogan for me that was like, if it wasn't for him, I may not be sitting here on stream. All three of us might not be sitting here on stream, because WWE might not be as big as it was because of him.
100%. I mean, you nailed it out of the park. And that's what, I mean, we see people online. You should never celebrate the death of someone with, there's a couple exceptions ever, but it's bad juju, bad karma. And again, the person himself, we don't need to get into that today. It's one of those it's the old saying, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So we talked about this with Cora Jade. Just, if you're feeling like you got to get your opinion off your chest, maybe save it till tomorrow or the next day. But at the end of the day, you're right. Like the first two ever little rubber wrestle guys I had was Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik, with curly shoe. So, I mean, that's how far this goes back. And it's just one of those things as you get older, kind of realizing like, icons, heroes of a generation are passing away. Ric Flair outliving everybody, by the way.
Right. Yeah, Ric Flair and Vince still kicking. Hulk Hogan kicks the bucket.
Right.
Isn't it fitting though that he wouldn't put Ozzy over? Of that doesn't work for me, brother. He was supposed to be the first out of these three and everything, and he had to go on last. Doesn't work for me, brother.
Right. But T's and P's out to the family and friends. And again, a lot of people impacted by this. The outpouring, I haven't seen a response this big. We were here for Scott Hall. Bray Wyatt was a huge moment as far as, really hitting people hard, but nothing on this level, which is kind of indicative of his overall impact.
Yeah. And I mean, even to touch on the other two like deaths that we had this week, it's just been a really big week of, celebrities dying. Like I just wind up calling him Theo because that's where I know him from. Malcolm. But like that was Malcolm, that was just shocking, as I don't know what, being his age and getting caught in a current and passing away. And then Ozzy Osbourne, which is funny, I don't really know an Ozzy like song off the top of my head. I used to play his songs on Guitar Hero, right, when I was was a kid. But I had just found out that Ozzy was a part of, I think, the group Bad Sabbath. Is that
Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath, right? And the only reason why I found that out was because they played that General song in the masses. The
War
one they do
Pigs.
yes,
War
they do
Pigs.
that for one for Survivor Series War Games, and they had it on the new season of Dexter. And I mentioned it to Boston, and he was like, "I didn't think you were a Black Sabbath guy." And I was like, "I don't even know who that is. I just know this song."
Right.
You were making me twitch the entire time you were talking, sir, about all that whole situation. But yeah, no, did everyone else's childhood just take a major kick in the nuts?
Yes,
a little bit, right?
Well, because that's, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo on the Huxtables and everything, the Cosby Show. You can say what you want about Bill, but the rest of the cast was solid. So that's your childhood right there. You have Ozzy Osbourne, if you're a metalhead, or even if you're Anthony, of only finding out about it because of Survivor Series. That's your childhood getting a swift kick in the dick again. And then now Hulk Hogan, like we said, he was such a pop culture icon. He was in the Gremlins movie. They did a parade down Disneyland Avenue because he signed with WCW. The man was beyond pro wrestling.
Yeah, 150% across the board. And not to belabor the point, but again, I think there's a time and place. And we all know, I just implore people to realize that, none of us are perfect. A lot of us do a lot of stupid shit. And rest in peace. Again, undeniable the impact. The rest of the stuff, not today.
Absolutely.
But we got Friday to talk about that.
Yeah, with all that being said, we're going to rapid fire some names, and then we're going to give out some trophies. We're going to give out some golden KJs.
Yeah, if this man wasn't so vain of right after his birthday and everything, we're giving out awards in honor of him.
Right. Yeah, I'm waiting for
that.
Fair,
he didn't pick the name. I picked the name, so it's my fault. Yeah.
It's true. Zach, Lionfish, Kevin, Kadarius, Larry, Eric, Dennis, Clay, Cherokee George, C Money, Zach, Eric, AD and AZ, Bash, good to see you, MDB, Bradley, back at it, Trey, Spaz with a $10 super chat. The impact of Hogan on pop culture wrestling can't be measured, and so neither can his loss. He and the grossest corners of the community have disappointed and disgusted me today. Glad we have you guys. There you go. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the super chat. Who else we got here? Johnny's in the building. Wrestling Proud's back with us. Ronan, rest in peace, Hogan from Mark Vance. See, again, just an outpouring of love. Brandon, Dawn, Joe, not exotic. I like that one. Trey, Vance. That's just about everyone. Odds is back with us. Lots of comments. Love it. Let's go. Keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. Damien, Robert Jenkins is in the house. Just Joe's with us. All right. Enough of the names. Let's get to the fun stuff. But we got a lot to talk about here with the awards. And shout out to all the people. We will try and click on some of your comments. So don't forget that. Get in there. Be noisy. Like, share, subscribe. All the fun stuff. Gentlemen, we ready?
We are.
All strapped on and strapped in, my guy.
I believe we're going to kick this off with Mr. Anthony and the first award.
No, it is me with the Breakout.
I was
award.
just about to say, I was looking at the list.
No, you got a list this time. Yes,
about the list and everything.
We're opening with
I had the list pulled up, and we got the list. Yes, no, our first award, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this goes from January 2025 to June 2025. But our Breakout superstar, athlete, wrestler, what have you, you will, of the first half of 2025. Yes, and so the winner of the first, this is a murderer's row, by the way, but we'll talk about that. But the winner of the first half of 2025 Breakout Superstar of the Year is Jacob Fatu. Yeah, I mean, all gas, no brakes with it. He's got the golden KJ for life with it. Yeah, this is just a murderer's row of category of. We were even having to disqualify some people of like, well, I think they just got it last year. I think they've already won it before here. Does it truly count as a breakout if they've already been here a bit before? But yeah, Jacob's been a monster, but anybody in that category you can make a case for.
Oh yeah, anybody in that category you really can make a case for. I was really pulling for Lyra because it felt like Lyra. Not saying Lyra was better than Jacob, but Lyra, it just like Lyra came out to her own, like in the
But
past.
is that the more the last couple months or so?
And more it's not because she won the title or anything like that. It's really over the past couple of months. I've always been behind Lyra, but like lately it's been like, I really like you, Lyra. You really honing into your craft, into the mic skills, into the wrestling ability. So I was kind of pulling for Lyra just for the past couple of months. But Jacob, I mean, come on, man. He's been
you're not making a case for Mike Santana.
You know, it's hard because Mike Santana has really grown on me too the past like 6 or 7 months. And you can make a case for him as well. But when it came to this, I was pulling for Lyra just a little bit more than Mike Santana.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I think Jacob's undeniable. Again, we might have seen him kind of come on the scene already and kind of have for some of us, a bit established, but to get into the spotlight and grab a hold of that spotlight and become undeniable, they had no choice to kind of break up the bloodline, at least the way we knew it. He was a big catalyst for that. And I mean, undeniable to me, the absolute breakout star. I think he's going, it's probably at the end of this year, maybe the next time we do the Mid-Lifees, you could be looking at that man with a world title on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, he very much could be like superstar of the year by the time we're doing the second half of these awards and everything like that.
Right.
But him throughout all of the whole bloodline storyline, he has been the one that's been head, shoulders, knees, and toes above everybody.
Absolutely. All gas, no brakes. The man is all right. But I thought we'd get some heavy lifting out of the way early on this one. I'm going to get it right because it is going to Anthony now. So there we go. We're following along. But just like the fumbly booking of this show, that we're back to you, Anthony.
Now we are at the next category, which is a Booker of the Year. We had some crazy booking decisions, that should have happened but didn't. But this is your list, your category for Booker of the Year. And the winner is, drum roll, Triple H.
Boom. Let's go. He looks like the trophy.
I was going to say, that's really get out of my head. I was like, he looks like the award.
Right. And there's going to be some debate on this one. I know NXT's done a lot of good things. I know there's people out there that think Tony Khan's murdering it, like Robert. But again, we'll talk about the difference between the consistency. Did Triple H have some missteps, i.e. WrestleMania? For sure. But I don't think anything's cooking at the level of Raw right now. SmackDown's better at 2 hours, lots of intrigue. He's got so much to juggle with the names. To me, he's the Booker of the Year.
HBK, you could kind of make a case for, depending on how strong you feel about NXT. But yeah, overall, and especially with running the main flagship and everything. Yeah, no, that's why I'm making sure if you want to still be right behind Hunter, it looks like you're talking through him.
Right.
But Paul's the Booker of the Year and everything. Yes, he's no Booker at this point is without flaw and everything. There's been fumbles across the board. But as far as delivering the biggest moments, it's Hunter in WWE.
I mean, for me, I think you guys know where I'm heading.
Yeah.
Where this
is Tommy Dreamer the Booker for TNA?
It's between, and we had this conversation in the chat. It's between Tommy Dreamer and Carlos Silva. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
It's between both of them. I think they've done a phenomenal job from January to June. Everything with TNA I really have enjoyed. Genesis was great. Rebellion was great. The in-between shows, with the exception of Under Siege, were really great. So if I had to put my name in the hat, it would be for Tommy Dreamer and company.
Yeah, I think TNA has been good. I think overall it's a valid argument. I already kind of threw it out there about Trips and how I felt about him. The issue for AEW is just consistency. You can't just book nothing and then wait for your pay-per-views to be good. The shows themselves have struggled. We saw it last night. And I mean, Dreamer, I just think that crew in TNA, needed a little more to work with. But they'll get there. I'm really curious to see what the back half of 2025 looks like for TNA.
Well, and does Hunter get credit for, with all of the big situations that we've had happen in WWE, whether it be Alexa Bliss return at the Royal Rumble, John Cena's heel turn, Dwayne asking for Cody's soul and everything like that? Does he not get credit for all of those? Of that, he's got a pretty good track record of some huge moments in the first half of this year.
Better matches, titles change hands at random. Like if they announce a title match now, you have to tune in because it could change. We've seen them change on regular shows, whatever show it is, it doesn't seem to matter. But beyond that, I don't Penta comes in, MCMG's here now. The tag team division's getting better. I don't think he gets enough credit.
Fair enough. Again, does talent acquisitions, everything like that,
right,
fall into play here? I think you can really honestly, to me, put him, HBK, if you want to split up NXT from WWE and Dreamer and put him in a blender, and I won't be terribly mad if you come out with a different outcome than I did. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair.
I like that.
It should have been Dreamer. There you go. All in, wrapped up about 2 years of storylines. Yes,
that happened in July. That happened in July.
Yeah, that's the disqualifier. And again, what stories? Like we can sit here all day, Robert. Come back tomorrow. We'll debate what stories, because we're not seeing too many stories that are going very well. But that's all from about the chat. Interesting. The Fiend was torture. We agree. I don't know if that's Triple H's fault though.
No, that might be a mark against him and everything. And I will answer Mega here of, so clearly voting is closed because we're middle of the award show. But for the future and everything, it's on the community tab. If you go to, I can't remember what it's exactly called on YouTube, but we always put up all the polls. Yes, posts. And that's why we've got 4, nominees and everything, because that's the most we can do in a poll.
Right. And some of them are hard to only do that. I mean, it makes you want to scream. And I wouldn't exactly call it a holy shit moment, but that is the category that is up next here at the Wrestling for Life Network, is the holy shit moment of the first 6 months of the year. What made us all kind of step back and go, wow, didn't see that coming. Let's find out. And the winner, the Golden KJ, goes to John Cena. The heel turn heard around the world.
Yeah, did it almost have to because of the impact?
Yeah, because of what it was and who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Even me not being a John Cena fan, I was overly ecstatic for this. Has it fallen flat since then? For me, yes. But the moment was great.
Yeah, we did it live, and like when we got The Rock, did the whole thing, and then he kicked, he punted to Cody between the legs. The whole world went nuts. Whether you love or hate Cena, it was a talking point. I don't think because of who he is, there was nothing bigger in wrestling as far as like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened.
I will say though, this at least number 2 for me was the Seth moment at the very end. There, I was like, oh, maybe that could sneak it out, because that's been, I would say, the better executed moment since then than the John Cena heel turn. Like the Seth turn up until the injury has been the highlight of everything. But the impact of John Cena turning heel, no one called that. Nobody called that. And if you did, you're a goddamn liar.
Yeah, no one called that. I mean, even when I was at an Elimination Chamber party, so when Cena hugged Cody, I didn't even see the facial expression because it hadn't happened yet. But as soon as he hugged Cody, I was like, oh, Cena's turning heel. Cena's turning heel. And then the face changed. And I was like, I'm right. I'm right. I was even excited. And it was a cool moment. The promos that he had with Cody Rhodes after the fact when they were leading to the match at WrestleMania, I really enjoyed the first couple of promo battles between them. They were really good and fun. So yeah, and I agree with you too, Nick. I think the Seth Rollins turn, like the follow-up after that, has been way better than what we got with Cena. But yeah, this was a cool moment.
I'll let you go, sir. KJ, you have nothing to say?
I was waiting for you to but yeah, no, that's it. That's good. I guess that's all on John Cena and that. But yeah, I mean, again, you can't really compete with it. I mean, TNA changing, NXT getting a TNA title, great. The rest of it, yeah, it just doesn't. It's John goddamn Cena, and he decided to be a bad guy after years of us asking him to be a bad guy. So
on his retirement tour, nonetheless.
Right. Which makes it even more shocking. But this is correct pick on this one. There you go. Thank you. Boston approves this one. We're all's right with the world. Cody Lander. Let's go. Damian.
I do got to click on this one, though, from MDB. If KJ did his thing with these nominee graphics, I'm highly entertained. If I'm just going to give the man his flowers here for a little bit and everything. I know I didn't do the smoothest transition, but, this man's, I feel like I'm living in a video game with these.
That was the hope. Amazing what you can do when you're fucking motivated. But speaking of motivated and what we can do, on to the next.
Right. So you got to be motivated if you're going to write stories and everything. I forgot we had another award and everything. But yes, the best storyline so far of 2025. Yes, and the winner is in a very tight race, I feel a little bit and everything, but the winner is the WrestleMania triple threat. The favor, I got a favor to give you here. And all that. Again, we were just talking about it even with the last award of the payoff, even continuing on from all of this, everything that we've still got now with Roman Reigns, with CM Punk. This has been the best storyline going into the first half and might be the best storyline that runs through all of 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I like the after story of this. I think I was vocal about this on the channel leading up to WrestleMania that I hated the whole favor storyline. So if I was choosing out of this category, it would probably have been Tony Storm and Mariah May, because I really enjoyed that. The Hollywood ending match was incredible. But the after effect of this story has been really good.
Yeah, I like the twist and turns of this story, though I probably would have voted a slightly different way. I don't know. Like, I was kind of into it, but the favor kind of took it to another level. Then the Seth turn capping it off, and the fact that it continued past it ends up being really intriguing. If this was the main event of WrestleMania Night 2, we all go home happy. There's no debate.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Now, I want to know, and I don't know if you can pull this up or have it readily available, how many percentile did the Death Riders get as the best storyline? Because that's a little bit like it obligatory needed to be in there to not have it be fully WWE and everything, and that's with all due respect. But yeah, you've even got Cena's last heel turn, or last run is in there with the heel turn. Right. Yeah, there's some heavy hitters throughout that.
Yeah, I wouldn't vote for the Death Riders if you paid me, just because the Death Riders, their story, it lacked execution. It sounded great on paper. It just wasn't delivered well. and more of the Death Rider stuff was lame, boring. I know some, but Moxie continues to disappoint as far as I'm concerned. And I'm trying to get your answer for you real quick.
No, you're fine, because I just remember too that Tony Storm and Mariah May were in there. So it was split.
They're
it was
good.
split 50-50. And Mariah May and Tony Storm, to Anthony's credit, was the better storyline coming out of AEW.
I can't
far away.
Like the only thing I remember from the Death Rider stuff was the title that, you know, Brian Danielson losing the title and the kind of like the reactions after. That's like the only thing I can kind of remember from the Death Rider story.
The triple threat story got 55%. Tony and Mariah second with 22. John Cena comes in at 18, and the Death Riders get a whopping 5. So
5.
That's like 3 votes.
Fair enough. And by the way,
3 guys.
Y'all voted on it. But no, it's still funny that this storyline, the triple threat going into WrestleMania, the main event of I Feel WrestleMania, and why when we talk about shows later on for the year of night 1 and night 2 are very much split apart. But that cleared the second option by like 30%.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it was the biggest thing going into the biggest show. And again, I think if John Cena had a better WrestleMania, that match with Cody didn't suck so bad, it might be a different story. But because it paid off and led to this Seth Rollins faction, and now Roman's back, like Anthony said, it's ongoing. So, and recency bias creeps into some of this.
Well, they voted. We don't get blamed for this.
All right. Are we ready for another one?
Yes, and I think it's on me this time, right?
Yep. I didn't want to, make a mistake here.
So the next category is, I believe, biggest botch, and we've had a lot of botches over the past 6 months from January to June. So these are the nominees. And the winner is Fiend.
I like that Moxley's just had spikes in the back and more.
And more. That's like, how do you sum that up?
Just the whole category. But yeah, when this was renowned as just such a big failure on the main event of WrestleMania, John Cena solidifying himself as a heel, him breaking the record for 17, and the only thing people are talking about, and it still gives us flashbacks, is Fiend. Even Drew's out there. People who work in the company are saying this is bullshit.
Right? Even that slap on Cody's face won't be forgotten anytime soon.
Right.
He's still got to get his lick back.
And honestly, the match between Cody and John Cena wasn't half bad, right? It was decent at best, but then you had Travis Scott come out to an Undertaker 72-minute entrance, right? And then to do nothing, right? That was just like, that was the worst ending since that was the worst ending this year until we had Slammiversary, in a way.
There you go.
Well, I think it super ties into what we were just talking about with the best storyline of the year. Of if KJ said it, of that, if that ended WrestleMania, we all go home happy. We're all super excited. We're all coming in fucking hot heavy on a Monday. This just sucked the fucking air out of everything.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I mean, when we do the botch category in the past, it's like individual moments. Jade slips off the top rope. But when we were talking about it, I mean, kind of like the company botches almost outweighed the wrestling botches. I mean, the Hurt Business and Jet Speed from not that long ago, but they put them in the ring on Dynamite, and nobody had discussed what the plan was, and it was just like running by each other and pointing and like who. So I mean, I understand why that would be a botch and how it got some votes, But again, similar to what we just talked about in the previous category with storyline, I mean, like you said, like just because it's Cena and it's such an epic thing, it's your main event of WrestleMania, the world's biggest wrestling show, and like that you can't ignore it.
Is it a good or a bad sign that WrestleMania was twice in this category? And 2 different years, by the way, of they've already halfway bungled next year because of the whole we're going to New Orleans and then we got to go to Vegas just out of the blue and everything. So now WrestleMania for the past 2 years now has been besmirched by Botch of the Year.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like we're ahead of the curve on this one. Like we're in advance, but I mean, it's just not a good look for a major company to be like, New Orleans, here we come.
And Dwayne's been involved in both of them too. Dwayne came out there in New Orleans. Right? We're bringing WrestleMania. No, yay.
So it's all Dwayne's fault, is what we're saying.
Yes, keep him away from pro wrestling. Go back to Hollywood where they don't want you either.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, that was very aggressive towards Dwayne, but I meant every word of it.
Respectfully aggressive.
Disrespectfully.
Well, he is currently a non-wrestler, and I think we're moving on to the next category. We haven't got a better name for this yet, but I think tonight officially becomes named after a certain human being. But we are going to do the best non-wrestler in wrestling. And the golden KJ goes to, of course, man. Why do I keep putting the bald guys in front of my face?
It's just a magnet. It's like an attraction and everything like that. It's just so fitting, so apropos. I mean, it's also fitting with the award as well. But yeah, I think at this point we need to just name this the Paul Heyman Award, because even trying to find challengers worthy of this at this point, it's becoming harder and harder. We had to bend the rules for Alicia Edwards.
Yeah, I have fingers crossed for Alicia Edwards because I kind of
wanted her alone.
I wanted to see a Nick meltdown, and then after his meltdown,
y'all can do your own award show.
And then after his meltdown, I was just gonna say, "Do you want to know something?"
Let's go. Yeah, this is pretty much the Paul Heyman Award. I know some people threw Callis at me. If anyone wants to try and defend the whole Callis thing, it just doesn't fly. It doesn't work. He's got a great stable. If he could just be a better manager, but he is AEW's best. He gets more heat than anybody. Nana is more of just a friend that hangs out with the wrestler because he doesn't help when he's getting beat up. He doesn't help him win. He doesn't really do anything other than kind of dance once in a while. Alicia, well, she runs amok, and she's definitely been non-wrestler since she got injured. But there's nobody even close.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I can still pot shot at Alicia. Was she ever a wrestler? But this is clearly
she was a champ.
Mistakes were made all around. But this is clearly Paul Heyman's award of whether he's the wise man, the oracle, the king, advocate, whatever title you want to put on him. This man has redefined what it is to be a manager in pro wrestling, or is setting the bar. Like, he is the GOAT. He is the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky, whoever your fucking GOAT is in any sport when it comes to being a manager in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Enough said. Like, it's spot on. Like, we can't believe her. I think we're going to have to, it will become the Paul Heyman Awards, so someone else has a chance to fucking win it.
Right. Yes, that's what it is. I think we need to invoke that as a rule. If you win the award 3 years and we do this twice a year, so you got to win it both times in that year and everything, that the award becomes named after you. Because I don't think he's lost a challenge for it yet.
I don't think in all of our time doing this, multiple award shows, he's ever not won the vote. So, I mean, we'll just give it to him, name it after him. But
Now I gotta get like a penguin one and just paint that gold specifically, and that'll be just the Paul Heyman award.
Right. Bobby Heenan is the GOAT. Heyman is second, Cornette. That's a fun debate we could have. Not today, but yeah, definitely a debatable subject. Heenan is one of the GOATs, but I think Paul Heyman has surpassed everybody.
Yeah, that might be a video idea or a members only stream here, but things will always be popping off on this channel. And speaking of popping off, we got the biggest pop of the year so far. And the winner is R-Truth. It had to be R-Truth. What's up? What's up? People over there, what's up? Now, granted, I'm still surprised at how much we've kind of fallen off, it feels, on the momentum train with this a bit. But it was the biggest moment of, even before he got released and all of that hullabaloo, of when he had the match with John Cena. He's taking on his childhood hero. If they had made it a non-title match, you thought he could have won it, and it would have been even a bigger pop.
Well, I know this is not a torch. This is a TV remote, but I'm holding a torch for Alexa Bliss, because that pop at WrestleMania, at Royal Rumble, was one of the loudest pops I have heard for a woman ever. So I'm just holding the torch for Alexa Bliss. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I knew already when I saw that come up and everything. I was like, I know who Anthony's picking.
Well, and listen, he's not wrong. Alexa got a gigantic pop. But I mean, even the other names on this list, they all had a moment. Like, the fans went nuts when Kenny came back. We knew he was coming back. It wasn't a surprise, but there's your gratuitous AEW inclusion. And then ultimately, like, we were live when R-Truth came back after all the news of his release, and we went nuts. It was our biggest pop of the year, I think, on the channel. Like, it was huge. So R-Truth gets the nod. I don't care what they're doing with him right now. That was a good moment. It worked really well. And again, R-Truth will always be near and dear to our heart.
The man literally had two of the biggest pops in the same year, in the same 6-month time frame and everything like that. And again, like you said, of him coming back after just getting released and everything. Nobody exactly expected that again. It's all the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects it.
Right.
Who voted on these, says Michael. Y'all did. Y'all did.
You know what? I will say this. This is the biggest voter turnout we've ever had as a channel. And every category had over 100 votes. So, with maybe one exception, but a very healthy turnout for a little channel like ours.
Exactly. And we want greater voter turnout and everything like that. So go spread the good gospel of Wrestling for Life out there. Go and just knock from door to door and say, have you heard about our Lord and Savior, KJ White?
We'll give you a little pamphlet stand up.
Yeah. The pamphlets are already sent in the mail, folks.
Right. Well, gentlemen, on to the next.
As we move on to the next one, what is the best pay-per-view from January to June? Here are your nominees. And the winner is...
I hate this. I don't want to push this button.
WrestleMania.
Why do you hate it? Why do you hate it?
WrestleMania Night 1. And to be the person to introduce this category, I'm gonna be the first person to speak, because y'all know good and well Night 1 of WrestleMania sucked gigantic balls. The gigantiest of balls that could be sucked. WrestleMania Night 1 was terrible.
Really?
Yes. We all know that.
I thought it was good. Like, leading to the Punk moment, like the whole Seth Rollins
That was
shit.
the main event. Was
the
the
better
only
of the two? Was
the
it at
main
least the
event
better
was
of
the
the
only
two?
good thing. The main
Ah.
event was the only good thing.
I
So you
hate it
want a
because
night two?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just asking Anthony. So you want a night two? Like, which to you was the better of the two nights?
Night two, the opener with Bianca was great. We had the Dom moment. We had the Joe Hendry moment. I mean,
There was night two soiled because of the end. Is it one of those come see, come saw of you ended off great and then the other one ended terribly?
If I was running the categories, I wouldn't have even put WrestleMania on it because it was just all right bad, to be honest.
True.
There's MDB's got my pick on the screen.
It's for me, it's between Elimination Chamber and Revolution. And I think Revolution was great. The only thing that was bad about Revolution was the main event with Edge and Moxley. But all the other 27 matches Tony Khan had on there, that was the only downer.
Right. It's got a point. This one's tough because Mania almost wins by default in a lot of these shows. And again, do we omit it then just any show but Mania award? What's that?
If we admitted WrestleMania, that's a huge indictment. That's you done fucked up. Not us.
It's tough, but I mean, I think what happened here was like, you know, Mania went to court and got the case separate. He's parting ways from night two. But Anthony has a good point though. It wasn't that good. You almost needed the main event of night one to mash into night two, and then all of night one would have been shit with John Cena and everything else. That's not like, honestly, I thought Chamber was a better WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah, honestly, if you switch the main event of night one and night two would have just been awesome because you would have had that awesome opener with Bianca and Io and Rhea, and then you would have had that awesome triple threat match. Even though I didn't like the story, the match was excellent between those three gentlemen. So you would have ended, you know, you would have started and ended that night with banger triple threat matches. And then in between there, you had really cool moments. You had the Becky Lynch return that nobody expected, right? You had, like I said, you had Joe Hendry. I mean, night two was great. Night one was just a nightmare.
He said bold.
I was going to agree with you on before you said all of that. I'll agree with you. Now I kind of feel like I have to on that. But Revolution to me is arguably probably the best pay-per-view we've had so far, of even when we were watching All In this year. All In, their WrestleMania was getting compared still to Revolution. We were still talking about it on stream of, yeah, this is great, but is it better than Revolution? And I won't say that we've done that with any WWE pay-per-view of comparing it even to the last month. This is still comparing it to the pay-per-view that they had to start off the year.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. And I mean, I'm looking at the chat right now and a lot of mixed comments. Apparently you didn't get enough people to vote. But yeah, a lot of people are saying the same thing. Revolution is a slam dunk number one if it wasn't for Jon Moxley. And I know a couple of people said Revolution was clearly better. Moxley killed that show for me. When your main event, we just talked about it, about, you know, the John Cena stuff. That main event is so lackluster. You leave feeling kind of meh. So that's your lasting impression of what was a really good show. Revolution was great. It's neck and neck for me. I just like Chamber because the big moments, and Naomi gets the win, and we get Naomi's path is now set. John Cena's path gets set there. Again, ultimately we can debate this till we're blue in the face, but yeah, I don't like this pick, folks.
Is it going to be interesting when we do these at the end of the year and WrestleMania is not an option?
It might not be.
I mean,
honestly, I think it's not going to be.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. Honestly, I'm putting Evolution in front of WrestleMania because Evolution was incredible, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, when it comes to, I saw MDB's comment, and I can't believe I'm giving him credit, but Elimination Chamber had the catalyst of Naomi now being champion. We had the start of she was the attacker, and then we had Cena, you know, at the end, the heel turn. So, I mean, I'm still picking Revolution over Elimination Chamber, but at a cool second, Elimination Chamber was great.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping.
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, has this been the first one that we've like disagreed with the result? Like
This
strongly
adamantly.
disagreed with the result.
Yeah, I think there's been varying degrees of not my pick between the three of us. This one, I think we're all like, oh, come on.
Yeah, like this man. Well, like I said, of WrestleMania night 1 or night 2 as a whole collective might not make it to the final 4 when it comes to the end of the year. I would say right now it's not a strong favorite of mine.
Yeah.
No. I mean, Anthony already named off of 2 more that we got to add to the list. All In killed it. SummerSlam's gonna murder. Yeah, where do we go?
Right.
But back to me. All right.
Yes.
Well, as we what we do here on this channel more than anything is we do our live watch-alongs of the weekly shows. So we thought we'd ask everyone in the world, what is your favorite weekly show? Let's go.
Access granted.
Man, this music is killing me. It's distracting me. But your favorite weekly show, and we included all of them, at least the mainstream shows. Your winner is
the fear. No, that's Rob Van Dam. I was gonna say for the
right.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw, and again, it kind of works out if they just had the deal with Netflix. It just came out in the Vanity Fair report or whatever, to where they had the president of Netflix that was saying that WWE being on our platform has been even beyond what we expected.
Right.
SmackDown's had its 3 hours. AEW's been ups, downs, highs, lows. Collision, you got to figure out when it is. Yeah.
But here, sorry, Anthony, before you jump in on this, Collision got more votes than Dynamite.
Yo, what?
Wow.
I've been hearing that a lot lately. Like
Boston got multiple accounts.
Well, I haven't been biased tonight that much. So I am gonna be a little biased and say, I would have chose Impact. But when it comes to SmackDown, SmackDown 3 hours, that never should have happened. Like, never should have crossed the space of the earth, because that was just terrible. Out of all of the 6 months we had a SmackDown 3 hours, I think the first episode and maybe 2 down the line were really good. Raw has been really consistent. I can see why Raw was the pick here. I can see why Raw is consistent, why Raw was chosen. Dynamite, I didn't even watch last night. I watched the first 15 minutes and I said, I'm not doing this to myself this week. I'm already tired. I don't want to go to sleep, tired and angry. And then Collision. Now, I did see a couple of collisions. One of my favorites was actually the one that got cut off in the middle of the airing, because it was a really good collision, and then it got cut off. So yeah.
Right. I mean, again, Collision for the longest time, and I think I don't like talking about it, but they just did like their worst rating in their history of history. So it's unfortunate for them. I'd like Collision to be a little more important. I'd like to be a little more excited for Collision. It feels like all the land of misfit toys. But some of the fans, because you're getting kind of some of the people that we'd like to see on Dynamite, the FTRs and the women, Deonna. Taya had a collision match last week. Dynamite, listen, I know fans out there are going to be mad, and when we put this out there to the world, what do you mean? What do you mean? There's a lack of consistency. There's a lack of clear, defined roles and stories on Dynamite. Tony Khan gives us mediocre weekly television and just hopes that his pay-per-views are such bangers that it builds the audience. But those weekly shows are a struggle.
I'm sick of 8-man, 6-man tag matches. And also, again, I will reiterate, y'all picked this Not us. We didn't. We didn't decide none of this. But it is still. Wasn't the first half of 2025 when they had their whole kickoff of Raw going to Netflix? So that is already going to put that way ahead of everything. That's them debuting on Netflix. We saw the huge turnout when they just did their inaugural episode and everything.
Yeah.
They bring back Dwayne of Monday Night Raw has far and away been the main focus of WWE right now.
Yeah, 150%. And I think, like you said, they had their big premiere. They have this almost 6 million people tune in. And I think Raw's been consistent. It flirts with 2 hours and 25 minutes, maybe 2 hours and 40 minutes, kind of in that range. We don't know when it's going to end. We've had twists, turns, title changes. Yeah,
I think that helps them with the pacing and everything like that, because they know if it can go a little bit longer, if the story needs it to, if whatever happens. But you also don't expect that it's going to go 3 hours straight. And what we talked about with SmackDown, they could never figure out how to book a 3-hour show.
Right. That's what all in was 6 hours. Yeah, they have to fit in 6 months of. Yeah, they got to do all their shit in one night, one night only.
1 hour each month.
Right. But that is your best weekly show. Again, but I will remind everyone out there, make sure you hit the comments after the show. Put your thoughts in there. If there's anybody, I just saw a name that we could have considered for another category. Again, it is so hard to look through 6 months. And some of your picks might have been 5th or 6th. If we had 5 or 6 nominees, we only had 4. But again, make sure you get in that chat. Make sure you comment on all these videos. But before we get to the next category, I do want to take a moment just to say it's been a crazy year. We love doing these shows. We love doing them. We appreciate everyone who shows up. If you hear us now live, or if you're hearing us recorded, if you tune into anything for us, we do appreciate it. So we're going to look back at our first half of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again. Last is if we're part of the IWC. I don't know if we are. I think we're part of the WFU, the Wrestling Fans United. And I like tell TK we say hi.
Yeah, all our socials are right there. If you need some help, we got you covered.
All right, Nick, I'm counting on you here.
Brainwaves, my guy, right now. US, he's got his paddle up. There's a technical again. You're dancing around the technical fouls.
The ref didn't see, bro. The ref didn't see.
I don't care. I'm a snitch. I'm losing. I'm a snitch.
Play the heel.
All right, here we go. Who was the first contracted TNA wrestler to ever appear in the Royal Rumble? Come on, Nick.
Jordan Grace. Son of a bitch.
I know that. You broke Anthony.
I forgot. I thought that was a lamp, and I J.R. Smith the shit out of that right now.
Field goal. I mean,
that's right. Wide right.
Tony Khan should apologize.
Oh, 100%. And talk, and it's like, at what point do you think like we actually care anymore? Because you are annoying me with all your tweets.
Right,
that would just
tweet
on everything.
He's got everything you want him to have.
I don't like him on the mic, honestly.
He's fine on the mic, and people love booing him. Don't you think?
That's all it is. He doesn't have to say anything. It's just he could literally sit there with the mic and go this and go boo.
Perfect.
I mean, it's heat, right?
It's heat. Yeah, I wins just listening to that story. That's crazy.
You guys are the best.
Yo! Yo!
Yes! Who be you? Our truth! Our truth! Our truth! Do it! Do it! Do it! You can't handle the truth! What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Let's go! Let's go!
Our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about the rest, you put the full life with it.
See ya on the flip side, folks. Dun. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So a little recap of some of our fun moments here. But I could have made a 25-minute video with our blips, bloopers, and everything in between. So good times to be had by all, folks.
This is why, like we were just talking about the weekly shows, you need to tune in when we're watching all the weekly shows and everything. And I still will not live down that Kid Mickey James clip. I still want that. Nope. Like that'll play on my fucking headstone at some point. They say your life flashes before your eyes. That'll fucking play at some point during that reel.
The one thing that I noticed that now I miss from that is my hair. My hair is very long.
Right.
I'm starting the process of growing it back out, but yeah, I miss it.
Welcome to the club. If it stops growing this way and it just grows this way. You got the little facial hair going. It started from stubble and now it's full beard. So yeah.
Well, some may say that your hair is slightly underbooked right now, Anthony. How do you feel about it?
Should we just call this the Benched Award now at this point and everything? But right. Yes, these are the people, not just the stars out there, but the people, the pine writers right now that are out there underbooked in your favorite companies. Yes, and even those people were so underbooked, we clicked on the comments while they were getting their nominees and everything. They're that buried on the roster and everything, folks. But so, and the winner is Karrion Kross, because he's the only one that's still underbooked that would actually answer a phone call. Which even then still, it's up in the air, I guess, if he's going to get re-signed or anything like that. But the push Kross movement is taken over. And again, like I said, I feel like everybody else there wouldn't answer a phone call because they're fearful that they'd just be told they're done.
Right, right. I feel like for this category, I mean, if we could just have like a 3 for number one, it would be Deanna, Karrion Kross, and Wardlow, because it was like, oh, I don't really care about Omos. I'm sorry, that's mean.
You but I don't want to see him in Noah or AAA.
But I mean, the outcrying of support for Karrion Kross, right? Like, can we do something with him? He did win on Monday. That's great, right? And then Deanna, I mean, I think Karrion Kross's support is more shown on TV than Deanna's, but Deanna's is more on social media. It's just been a tough year for anybody in that category, with the exception of Omos, because I just don't like him. So,
this isn't a category you exactly want to find yourself in. This is
exactly
the award. This is the benched, but I'm not benched award.
Yeah, and I think what played into the voting for this as well is more of, all 4 of these people have been benched in different degrees. Karrion, maybe, I remember July doesn't count. So up until June 30th, he wasn't being pushed a whole lot. But it was also who the fans want to see out of that group that aren't, do you want to see Karrion booked more? That's where you get that underbooked vibe of, they're not being used, but we're not, like, I'm not dying for Omos to come out. Like, I'm not going to, oh my God, Omos is here. I don't know what the fanfare with it is. I don't get it. Karrion Kross, I fully get. This is a world champion in the making if done proper. The man deserves booked better. Beating up Sammy is always a good start, and he got a win recently, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come. The other ones, I think we won't see them until they're in another company.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing, is when you name certain people, it kind of feels like, are you sure they're just not future endeavored?
temporarily parked. I don't know. Benching became a term this year.
I mean, we haven't seen Wardlow at all.
No.
I heard Deanna's contract is not up, sadly, until 2027.
Oof.
So it's I don't know.
We're gonna see more Wardlow on American Gladiators than we are on AW television.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that at all. But there you have it, folks. So these are the people in the first 6 months. I mean, there's names like Natty and Jamie Hayter would have been a good one. Sorry, Jamie, you just missed the list again, limited to 4. So,
Well, you can't stay healthy either.
Yeah, that's the other part of it is how much have you impacted your underbooking. So,
right.
Even
I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah, even Britt would have been a good one for this category. Britt Baker. So, yeah, there's a lot.
Interesting, for sure. Well, like us, you need a good group.
Yeah, so the next category is best faction. We've had so many factions, excluding the Death Riders, but we've had so many factions over the past 6 months. Which one is the best faction that we've had in professional wrestling? Here are the nominees. And the winner is
the system. No, I'm just kidding.
Walk off.
The Judgment Day.
I was gonna say, if they is announcing the award, he might just Zazem or whatever. He might, just John Travolta and just decide I'm gonna give it to the system here. But yes, the Judgment Day that's got all the gold at this point. I mean, is even dealt with a roster change mid-year and still has almost gotten more momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought at one point the Judgment Day was at the brink of, disbanding, but they're stronger than ever at this point now. And no, the system's been on like a 92 match losing streak with the exception of Moose. I wouldn't put them on here. But yeah, I like this choice of the Judgment Day. They've been doing some really good work, over the past couple of months.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, just when we think they're down and out, I mean, we thought when Damian and Rhea left, okay, they're going to disband. They're street trash. Who cares? Their merch sucks. This sucks. They're not doing nothing. And, as we get into the dog days of summer, they got all the gold. Liv's not even there right now, and they're fine. They haven't missed a beat. Dom has a huge mania moment. JD McDonough comes back from punctured lungs within the same year to win tag titles. They give a little more validity to their tag team division on Raw. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's hard to argue. The Death Riders are, we're dead on arrival. The system, like you said, they lose more than they win. I keep betting against them. I keep betting for them to break up, and they won't. So I don't know. I like this. I like this group out of the group that we had.
When it comes to the system, I'm trying to remember the actual stat, but someone's keeping up on Twitter. I follow them, and I think they've lost like 19 matches in the past like 6 months.
They beat Dark State. They beat Dark State.
They did, but that was in July. But yes, they did beat Dark State. But I think
I had to say something nice about Dark State. I had to get it on. I think
with the exception of Moose, they've lost about I want to say roughly between 15 and 19 matches this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And they're always in stuff, but they just, no wins.
They just stay losing.
Not enough wins.
Is Dominic Mysterio the leader of Judgment Day?
They don't really have, like, Finn might be the leader.
That's bullshit. That's a lot. We don't have a leader, which means you have a leader.
Whoever gets the chicken nuggets is the leader.
Who has the best singles title right now? Who actually has the only singles title right now is Dominic Mysterio. I mean, you mentioned about expecting Finn and him to break up and split off, and that was going to be the feud. And now, instead, we're back to everybody's holding gold.
Yeah.
Was somehow I know Liv was great for the group. Was her getting injured almost somehow better for the group? Of like it helped them continue to grow in a different way.
Yeah, I think it allows the story to keep going because now there's a new story to tell. Where before, what do you just do, right? Like they were trying to work Roxy into the group, and we've seen that before. So this kind of opened the door to kind of do it without like Liv looming over her head or Liv taking stupid losses. Liv will come back angry, and I think she'll come back as a babyface.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that they are losing those tag team titles to Charlotte and Alexa come next Saturday or Sunday, whenever their match is announced for what night of SummerSlam. I hope.
We'll see. But with all that being said, in order to have any good superheroes in any story, you need bad guys. You need the heel. You need somebody that's going to cause trouble and get into it. So here are the nominees for Best Heel. The winner is
Now, is he the best heel or is he just the biggest heel? If that makes any better sense.
I'll say biggest. I think Drew McIntyre might have got ripped off. Anyone with the exception of Moxley gets my vote.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Cena, he's just the biggest heel. I think Drew McIntyre has done great as a heel. Honestly, if I was picking a number one, it would probably be the one that has the inside and outside heel heat, and that's Logan Paul.
There it is. There it is.
I was gonna say, I feel like that got brought up in the clips and everything that we did, but I like this from the Angry Buddhas. Better than the ESPYs. What's up, homies? Absolutely.
What's up, Angry?
But I think this is, again, this goes with the populist vote versus, I guess, I don't want to say the Meltzer vote, but the Smart Mark vote or anything like that of John Cena is the most recognizable name. It's the biggest thing that he turned heel. We got Dom Toretto's brother out here in pro wrestling. So now that he's heel, he's gonna carry he's supposed to be the biggest and best heel. Not saying he's fully executed it. It's debatable on how you feel about it, but he's the biggest draw as a heel.
Yeah, you're not right. You're not wrong.
You're not right. Yeah, thank you for telling me.
You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I would have put my money on Drew as far as, to me, he's the most entertaining heel we have.
But Drew took time off. But Drew was absent for a while.
Honestly, low key, Naomi been a better heel than John Cena.
I like it.
if we gonna put $100 on it, I'm putting it on Naomi.
We're gonna put $200. You're gonna run these hands.
Year-end awards, Naomi. Watch out for Naomi. She can be in a lot of categories at the year-end awards.
Oh, if you're saying Naomi in this, I thought you said Logan Paul. I just got triggered of like, we're gonna fight.
Well,
Naomi's very much making a case. I think most of hers has been in July, though.
What?
What?
Yeah, that's it. That's where Naomi, like, she had to come through Elimination Chamber and such, and she's really come into her own kind of the last couple months out of the 6. Again, very close to making this list, maybe 5th or 6th. But John Cena right now, holding a world title as a bad guy. Best might be the wrong word. Biggest might be a better word.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Seth can make a case for a biggest heel right now and all of that too as well. And especially, I think because we waited so much of what was John going to do of, you get nothing. And so he comes out black and Titantron with just his name. He holds the title behind him and everything like that. Like, he's embraced the heel mode the most.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, to an extent. I mean, is he getting the biggest boo reactions? No, I still think that even Dom is still getting booed enough. Logan, everyone hates it. Even when Anthony said his name, you cringed. Like that's a heel to
That's
the onion
heel
ring,
right there.
right? You hate him, and it works. It works. So, yeah, I mean, the chat's kind of all over the place. Moose got mentioned, I do believe, in one of the comments. Naomi is fantastic. Yeah, let's go. Chris Jericho, Dave Meltzer. We should have the FU award, and we'll just line them all up.
There you go.
Right? We're KJ can't see them. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but you can see my tag team partners out here. As again, we are the tag stream champions out here, but we've got the best tag team of 2025 going on right now.
Let's go.
And the winner is, I genuinely don't know who won this. Yo, I'm surprised because that's the first time we've had a women's tag team mentioned in this category, and they win. That shows you the way that men's tag team right now has been lacking overall.
The way I glossed over that reading the list earlier, wow. I
thought this whole division was dead.
Yeah, I am happy about this. Give it to Liv and Raquel. I like this. Y'all did right, chat. Y'all did right.
Young Bucks. Clearly, it was the Bucks. Do they do tag team wrestling?
I don't know anymore.
Right. Let's go. We're the best. I appreciate that, Kevin. I was surprised with the vote on this because, again, they held the women's title so long that once Liv got hurt, they kept them, and now Roxy's got the tag titles. So arguably one of the better tag teams. I mean, we can talk about MCMG, but they're not doing much. We can talk about DIY, they're not doing much. The Raw tag team division's null and void. The AEW tag team division, null and void. Yeah, like someone said, the Hurt Syndicate, whatever they had, maybe one title defense, two.
Can I make a prediction for end of the year winner?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is if you would have included that last month, I feel like the Hardys might have snuck in there of new TNA champions about to take on in October. We're going to get Team 3D versus the Hardys one more time. But it's so funny to me of a division I thought they were completely destroying, tearing down, we're going to get rid of. They end up best tag team of the first half of 2025.
Yeah. I'm really shocked. I really like this choice. I mean, they've been fun. They were really fun as a tag team. Liv really came into her own as the women's champion, then transitioning back to the tag team. She did great things there. I hate that she got injured. But I mean, yeah, this has been. I'm speechless. I really like this.
I think I might have given my vote to the Street Profits. I think they've had a really good year and they're holding on to it. Like they were kind of the one legit tag team in a tag team division that wasn't getting booked very strong. But yeah, I mean, do better with tag teams. This is either a really good thing or a really bad thing. Either way,
well, Fraction moved up from NXT to SmackDown and then just got added to the shuffle.
Yeah.
And honestly, truthfully, the NXT tag team division has fizzled since they've moved up. To me, it's been really all around Fraxium, and then they moved up, and no one talks about the tag team division in NXT much anymore.
Not as much. We like them. We'll see. Let's see what they do. But no, that's a very interesting win, folks.
We're getting down to the heavy hitters out here. The big beefy boy slapping meat out here.
Down to the final few. Sorry.
Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. And our next category is best male. Who will
Were you still talking?
I was, but it's cool. Here are the nominees.
That was a big pause. See, live, folks.
And the winner is Mr. Hangman Adam Page.
Whew.
And I like this choice. I've been a big fan of Hangman since he stepped foot in AEW, and I really like this choice. He's really, over the past actually year or so, like his character has went from about a 10 to 100 at this point. So great choice.
I like we're getting more of kind of the older Hangman, and he's developed more as a character. I hate the fucking haircut. Stop getting perms.
What's wrong with the perm?
Oh, so many things. I'm surprised Santana was in here of, man's in Breakout and top male. That's impressive. I thought, Seth Rollins might be thrown in there or anything. But yeah, of Hangman, he was the one that conquered the mountain. He climbed Everest in AEW. He beat Moxley for the AEW championship and freed it from its briefcase. So he's kind of been the MVP of AEW for sure.
Maybe a little bit of recency bias and people including what he did at All In, which was supposed to be disqualified, but he
has been good though. He has been good. Like, you can't deny he has been good.
I do think that Jey Uso had a phenomenal first half of this year. He won a lot of shit. He had his Mania moment.
Did he fizzle in the last month?
In June? No, I don't think so. He was still fighting Gunther. Gunther has had a phenomenal year as well, though. Like, Gunther's been unflappable. Like, to the point where, he had to take on Goldberg. Granted, July, but he agreed to fight Goldberg at some point. Gunther's been the ultimate professional, but I agree. Like, I know we got the payoff for Hangman at All In, but he was my MVP at AEW in 2024. I think he's continued to carry this torch. And he's at least a guy that comes out and you believe him. He's passionate. When he's cutting a promo, I believe what he's telling me. It doesn't feel like an after-school special like a lot of his friends.
Is it surprising that you have guys like Moxley, you have the Bucks, etc., that come out, and again, they want to be the faces, but Hangman somehow ended up the actual heart of AEW. If he's the one that everybody gets behind, you actually believe, you cheer for him and all of that. Like, even when it's him and there's that little selective group. It's like him, Swerve, Ospreay, and maybe if you want to throw like a Jay White or something in there, or Darby now because he just came back. That selective group of no matter what, when it comes to AEW, you're kind of gonna get behind, even if it's bullshit, even if it's they're backdropping through panes of glass, you're gonna cheer for them.
Yeah, and I think part of, you always hear this in sports when it comes to MVP, like most valuable player, most valuable wrestler. If we go that rate, I think Adam Page is more valuable to AEW than the guys that we mentioned from WWE. Like, if Jey Uso took some time off right now, the show would be fun. Like, they'll slide someone else in, we're good. Gunther, same thing. We love him, but Hangman goes missing. Now you're missing a whole lot of heart, soul, intrigue. Like, someone's got to put on those boots quick. And I think that's where he gets a little bit of the nod from me.
Agreed. And what really what even makes this more better is that MDB is crashing out in the comments, and that makes me so happy because his boy Jey Uso didn't win male superstar of the first 6 months.
Well, I was going to ask you this, Anthony, we're both Bills fans and everything, and KG, you can kind of relate with Toronto and everything like that. But of Josh Allen just won MVP and everything like that. And there was the whole back and forth of should Lamar Jackson won it instead of he technically had better stats, but Josh Allen really put the team on his back and everything. That's kind of what I feel like Hangman is of if you look at an MVP, it's not exactly stats award, it's who met the most to their team.
Yeah. And again, anybody that was going to go after Moxley was going to get a vote from me.
Right?
Who
Exactly.
Did he just, get close enough, or was he peripheral enough that he snuck in?
Close. But no, that is our male of the year. Again, folks, don't forget, comment on these videos. We will answer back. We check on them constantly. Leave your comments if you feel like somebody got overlooked, left out. If you're jaded, like our buddy MDB out there right now, pissed off about this.
Makes me so happy.
Right? There you go. Comment on these videos. YouTube loves it. And don't forget, we're here all week, all weekend. We got more stuff coming your way. SmackDown tomorrow, all that fun stuff. But they put me in charge of the ladies, as they should. You know how I feel. But it's been a very big year for women's wrestling in 2025. Here are the nominees for Best Female First 6 Months. Let's go. And the winner goes Naomi. Look, he rigged it. Folks.
I just gotta let this man go. Go ahead. You keep talking here.
As her theme song says, this is your last warning. You better watch out. This is your last chance. I'm coming. Proceed with caution. Naomi won the 6 months for the women. I love this. I love this so much.
Has she had arguably the biggest kind of 6 months of a women's wrestler in recent memory and everything and she's ascended to the top of the mountain super fast, and now she's pulled away from the Jade and Bianca feud and everything. Now she's out there, Rhea Ripley, like she's established herself as a star.
Honestly, yes. And it's crazy that Jade won the feud between those two, but no one's talking about Jade. No one's really talking about Jade. They're talking about Naomi, and Naomi kind of said it in her first promo after winning the women's title. She was like, "You may have got the night, but I made the history," or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So Naomi has no pun intended, had the biggest glow up, this year. With her character change and everything. Her promo skills are on point. I mean, even this past Monday Night Raw, where she just interrupted and was like, Stephanie Vacro, that was even like pretty hilarious. So yeah, I think this was the right choice. Honestly, between her and maybe Toni Storm, because Toni Storm has done great too. This was a good choice. Yeah.
Was 2024 the year of Toni Storm?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, not enough love being given to Io Sky right now for my liking. I'm sorry. I love Io Sky. I think Io Sky's been phenomenal. She's won her fair share of things. She shocked the world by winning the women's title. People thought she was just a dud. She ends up winning at Mania as well. That women's match maybe like right on the edge of match of the year. They killed it. But let's be honest. This is Naomi's time. She's come into her own. She's found that new level. She's a whole different lady and so much more confident. This has been phenomenal. And I think there's a lot of more twists and turns coming her way. I think she'll be in the nominees at the end of the year. I'll be shocked if she isn't. But right. Yeah, I mean, I love the ladies that were mentioned. I'm glad some of them weren't the usual suspects. And big win for Naomi.
And
this is what happened. Sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
I was just going to say, and just giving credit a little bit to Naomi's TNA run, she credits that for her confidence being restored. She credits Jordan Grace for her confidence being restored as well. So credit Naomi to her TNA run and finding herself again and looking in deep. When she won the women's title, she said she had to look inward for a change, and she did that. So kudos to Naomi for that.
I think this is the best case scenario of when the fans get behind somebody and WWE creative listens and executes right along with it and everything, like what people want with our truth, what people want with Karrion Kross and everything, because it went all in the same wave of the fans got behind Naomi as she cashed in and everything. Trust me, Anthony, it's still your reaction to her cashing in when you were there live and everything is still a household favorite and everything amongst me and the missus and everything, of you just losing your marbles and vocal cords and everything, because it was that type of momentum of that got behind her and everything. The fans got behind her, creative got behind her, and it just was a perfect storm.
Yeah, it took 7 days. Truthfully, it took 7 days for my voice to recover, because it was technically already gone before the Naomi moment, because everybody know the Atlanta crowd was really hot for Evolution from start to finish. But just having that ending with Naomi, like, my voice was gone, and you guys couldn't see what happened after. But after I stopped recording, I was jumping up and down like a little kid. The lady that was sitting 2 seats down from me was just staring at me and kind of laughing because she saw how excited I was. But yeah, I'm glad as a wrestling fan and as a Naomi fan that I picked the right event to go to see her.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't pick a cash in, and I picked an event and she cashed in. So
yeah, pretty perfect. But yeah, undeniable. We'll see where she goes, but I fully expect her, like I said, to be nominated at the end of the year for one of the best wrestlers of 2025.
absolutely.
Right. All right. Well, we're down to the nitty gritty. We're down to the last couple here, folks. We left these ones because these ones caused the most argument. Other than Booker, we wanted to get that one out of the way. But back to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many stars are in the sky, but I don't know if Meltzer's going to give all these matches these star ratings here. But we've got the best match of 2025 so far. And the winner is out of best match of 2025 so far. The triple threat of the best story. How fitting that it has the best match. And it's still even interesting if you can make challenges and debates and everything for a couple of those matches and everything. But overall, top to bottom, especially even the swerves that they had at the end of this match of Heyman's on this guy's side. No, he's on this guy's side. No, he's on that guy's side. This was the best match of WrestleMania weekend, so it already has that extra gravitas behind it.
For me, I'm holding the torch over here for Fletcher and Ospreay. I really like that match. That was fun. That was a brutal. It needed to be brutal because it was so much animosity between them, but it was brutal. It was clever. It was genius. So I really like that match. And Josh Alexander and Mike Santana tore the house down at Genesis. But yeah, I'm holding that torch for Mr. Ospreay and Fletcher there.
Yeah, I thought they killed it in that cage. And I mean, I think if you're being like hypercritical, some of the moments very, like, all right, are you ready? We're going to do this. Like, it feels like, you're at a casino show outside of the, the Luxor or some, shit like that. But at the end of the day, I think it's a bit of the WWE bias, a little bit of the WWE lean. The biggest fan base out there gets the biggest voices. I mean, the women's triple threat was phenomenal coming out of Mania. It's so hard because it's different strokes for different folks on this one, right? This was the combination of great wrestling in ring, amazing story to go along with it, so it kills.
If I had to pick my personal choice, it would be the TLC match of, especially with that right after WrestleMania, and it really highlighted the tag team division, which has been kind of lacking, and it was just so good, and so it made you jealous of the fact that it wasn't on the WrestleMania card. They pretty much, we're going to show up and show out because that's what the show's about. So if I had a personal choice, that would be mine.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a personal choice outside of the Fletcher match, I would probably say Toni Storm and Mariah May. Just the ending shot and the match. I rewatched it about a week or so ago. The match was only like 12 minutes, right?
Yeah,
but the ending shot of like Toni Storm laying on top of Mariah May, like they went through a battle and it was like their final hug, and how the camera just panned over them. That was just perfect. So if I had a personal pick, it would be Toni Storm and Mariah May.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little Barney Gumble of, don't cry for me, I'm already dead.
Right? We've had a lot, and I mean, trying to sift through 2025 with there's matches like, I mean, there's matches we love that didn't even make the list, but we could be here all night just talking about the top 10, 15 matches of the year so far. Ospreay Swerve versus the Bucks happened in July, so it's not counted, and that wasn't that good of a match.
I mean, and right when you said like there's other matches, the one match that came to my mind, which was arguably the best match at Genesis, was Jordan Grace versus Tessa B. Like, I mean, that was really good. So it was just a lot of matches out there that was hard to choose from.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, biggest stage, biggest names. They get the biggest votes on this one. Whether we like it or lump it, folks, we're just going to have to get, people voting more next award show. And with all that being said, I believe Anthony is bringing us home at this point.
Yes. So we are at the last category, best promotion so far in 2025. Here are your nominees. And the winner is TNA Wrestling. No, just WWE.
Any surprise? I mean, we kind of talked about this with all the Mania wins on this show here tonight. But yeah, WWE definitely a heavy strength in this award show and the voting. But there you go. I don't think anyone expected anything else.
It is the biggest promotion. I mean, it's like, really, do you expect Disney not to win an Academy Award or anything like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I will just want to say I'm glad that New Japan got mentioned. I had to fight for New Japan to actually get mentioned in all this. But yeah, it is getting interesting that now we finally have the discussions of 1, 2s, and 3s. Before it was ones. Now it's 1s and 2s, and now it's 1, 2s, and 3s. Of this race is getting a lot closer than a lot of people want to admit.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Eric Bischoff became my best friend when he said that TNA gets a TV deal. It's number 2. Eric Bischoff, we see eye to eye. But yeah, it's crazy that in 2025, just TNA in general, mentioning TNA as becoming a number 2 is just 2.5 years ago, it was Impact Wrestling and nobody was talking about it. Now 2025, it's TNA and everyone's talking about it. Whether it be good, whether it be bad, people are talking about TNA. Slammiversary itself was still trending about 12 hours after the show ended. So TNA doing his thing right there.
Yeah, lots of buzz, not a lot of notoriety. I know there's a fan base out there that's going to be mad. They're always mad. Especially when we don't see it their way. AEW did a lot of good things in 2025. It's not all bad, but as far as every way you can look at a successful company, the WWE is doing it better. And again, I think there's a fallacy about AEW gives you the best in-ring matches. They might give you they might give you more quality at times, but I don't think that is a fair assessment of WWE. I think they've done a lot better bringing in-ring competition, longer matches. Tony's just got to clean up some stuff. We talked about it a lot last night, Nick, when we were here live about a Dynamite. If he could just clean up some stuff and do it a little better, or let someone do it for him, they're not that far off.
No, well, then that's the biggest thing. Is we haven't had a big three since we've had WWE, WCW, and ECW, and they were all still respectfully within striking range of each other. And there's no one saying that WWE is not without fault. I think the biggest game changer, I think, will be when TNA gets a TV deal. Then the narrative's going to shift a lot, I feel.
Yeah, it could definitely. And then you have no choice. And I know what Eric said. And Eric, I've never seen this before when people talk about journalism, where a guy does an interview and some fanboy like just goes after him in a tweet to like shoot down the reason why we weren't even in this conversation. This had nothing to do with you, son. What are you doing? But the Meltzer can't help it. Cannot help but defend this company. And I think if Tony Khan wants to help his company, he would publicly shred all ties with guys like Dave Meltzer, because they're killing this company and they're holding it back. Dubs is on fire. We know it. They're the big bad monster. What can we really say? I mean, TNA, they're definitely making a battle for it. Companies like MLW are trying to make a battle and get in better, better spots where we can see them more often. TNA landing that TV deal going into 2026. Ooh, we wait till the words start with y'all a bunch.
Exactly. And what Eric Bischoff said is not something like I've said this on the channel well before anything Eric Bischoff said. I don't remember the stream, but we were talking about it. I don't know if it was a voting stream or something. And I was like, and I wanted to say TNA was like the top promotion, but I said, until TNA gets a TV deal, AEW will still be number 2. So when that TV deal happens in whatever network, hopefully big network that it lands on, there's going to be a fight there for that top second spot, and it potentially may go to TNA.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's all the potential there, and the advantage that TNA ends up having is that they tell better stories. So like when you get onto TV, you're already ready for it because people are tuning in for the excitement, the drama, and then you'll get really good matches out of guys that we don't normally see kicking around. So that's name value that they can build. But I think they overall are a stronger booked company. So Tony's got to pull his socks up because he wants to chase down the dub, but he's being hounded by the TNA. He's stuck in the middle and he's not loving it.
Well, to me, it's focus on being the alternative that you say you are. If I'm AEW, focus on being the alternative. We talked about it coming out of All In. That should have been your big launching point into this, that, and the third, and creative wise and everything. I've got a little bit of momentum. WWE fans are kind of lapsed in a little bit with the burnout of everything that was happening that whole weekend. So here's All In. We have the payoff of years of story, and now you got to capitalize on it. And unfortunately, they let it slip through their fingers.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just to touch on Artist's comment real quick, talking about the companies. And I think the thing that some fans don't, if you ignore WWE and you just compare AEW to AEW, that to me is the flaw of like, the fan base is about 500,000 at this point. Why we expecting 800 to 1 million? It's because when they were doing 800 to 1 million, they were bragging about it, and that has changed. So the assessment from the business has to be, I don't expect them to wake up tomorrow and be WWE and selling out, but you've been acting, you've been putting on those britches that might not quite fit you. And now you're kind of getting humbled. So that's where we've ended up.
Right. I'm just following up on this of WWE wins by oversaturation like every year. They are the production machine. EW is what WWE is what we wanted ECW to be. No, I feel like that's TNA right now, but I digress. With a major TV deal, the sooner we accept that, the better. But they need to pull kids. Well, that's their biggest fucking flag bearer is the demographic. So I don't need to hear about pulling kids. Pause. Yeah.
Yeah, they just got to put on better shows. They got to put on better shows. That's what it all comes down to. Like for me, when we talk about the best promotion out there, I don't care about your ticket sales. I don't care about your numbers. I don't care about your ratings. To be honest, I'm so sick of talking about the ratings and the people that keep posting the max ratings. You're never going to convince those people that they're not real or not true. Just let it go. We're fighting over something that really doesn't matter. But on overall, product-wise and entertainment-wise, I mean, I think week in and week out, the Dubs got the edge right now. WWE is doing big things. I'm looking forward to their shows. Like I can't wait for SummerSlam. I think it looks amazing.
Right.
There's a lot that have gone into really big names, really cool shit. AEW just has to clean up, do some housekeeping, and just get better at delivering those shows. Don't try and be WWE, but make your shows better and beat yourself. What did you do last year? Do better this year. That's all.
Exactly. And I'm just like you. I'm so tired of match ratings, TV ratings, all of that. I think at one point on Twitter, I started posting the random ratings of what is it? America's Got Talent just to mess with the wrestling fans. And one person said, no one cares. And I was like, and that's the point. You shouldn't be caring about the wrestling ratings either. But
yeah,
it's just like, is a tiring engine of talking about TV ratings, and then match ratings. That's subjective. That's that's opinion based. You can't, that's stupid to talk about.
Well, the AEW fans posting cage match votes and ratings. And like when you like, Slammiversary only got 2 point. It must have been a terrible show. And then you look closer and you're like, 7 people voted. Like what
right.
How far do we got to stretch this? I mean, that's why match of the year is so hard to call, or even pay-per-view of the year, is because all three of us feel slightly different, and everybody out there should. We can come to terms and agree on things, but ultimately, right now, the wrestling in 2025 is just about as good as it's ever been, mainstream-wise. We got multiple companies cooking, so much talent. We're spoiled as wrestling fans.
We have the best pro wrestling that we've had in decades. That cup run and fell for, but we also have the loudest bullshit fans and everything. That just want to just be pissy about everything. Like that, I know there is no pleasing, there is no winning, but no, at the end of the day, I like that this is getting a close race, that this isn't someone walking away with this, that this is getting, when we're into the last turn here, it's neck and neck down here, down the back straightaway and everything. That's what we need with pro wrestling, of this whole, again, I know Anthony's been out there. If I got a torch for this, I got a torch. I'll go Survivor. I'm putting your torch out. I'm tired of the tribalistic bullshit of like, wrestling is fucking good. And I hate that so many people trying to actively say that wrestling isn't good right now. I don't give a fuck what company it is, but it's saying that wrestling isn't good now. Sorry.
No, not at all. I mean, again, I think that's all of our sentiment here. It's why we do what we do. That's why we want to bring this a little award show and have a little fun with it. Break up the, just critiquing the wrestling all the time. Sit back, laugh, enjoy a little, reflect on 2025. All I know is it was one of the hardest award shows to put together from a standpoint of whittling down nominees and figuring it out and remembering all the shit that happened in 6 months. And God knows where this is going. So I agree. And that's why we want to bring everybody together. We tell everyone to be a friend, tell a friend, because there is so much to enjoy. Yes, each one of us will take turns losing our mind about something, But
Yeah.
in between those little meltdowns, there's a lot of good stuff, and we enjoy a lot of it, and I don't think that should stop.
Oh, 100%. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be now not long-winded after I was very long-winded. But yes, I heard you.
No, absolutely. Everything you said, KJ, was absolutely hitting the nail, on the head. So I fully support and agree.
But final thoughts on that, Nikki?
No, I'm good. I'm 100%. Well, it's already been a crazy first half, and we got a whole second half here, and we're 1 month in, and we're already losing our minds.
Well, you figure, look at all the stuff, like July didn't count. So now we got All In, we got Naomi's cash in, we got
We
Summer.
can start doing monthly awards out here.
Right. But no, ladies and gentlemen, that is the 2025 Mid-Lifees. And we always have fun doing these. Thank you for being a part of it. Again, comment on these videos. YouTube loves when you comment. We'll try and answer. And again, be active. Go check out all our socials. We got more coming your way. Anthony's the best TNA coverage we got. And again, more games, more fun. As you saw in our little montage, if you haven't been here before, we got tons of original content. We're working on more of it, more interviews, all the stuff. Happy 2025, halfway, and then some.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about that rest, you put that full live with it.
See you on the flip side. Come back tomorrow. Good night.